Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well. Hope you didn't miss me too much yesterday. Obviously, we were at the Dapper Suave. Let's just adjust that. I do apologise. We were at the Love Reigate, the tunnel event for St George's Day, which was really good. Really great to be there as Dapper and Suave, and getting to meet lots of customers who were really friendly and lovely. And a lot of them got to know about Curated, so a lot of beer mats were given, and so lots of new customers who are excited to know about our events at Dorking Halls and Gilding Barnes, which is fantastic. So let me start, and hopefully everything will go hunky-dory this morning. Hi to everyone already. Loads of people joined, which is really great. Good morning. How are you?
Morning.
How are you? You all right?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. The sun's shining. I've got my shorts on and
Woo.
raring to go. Going off to the village green in Denbies to check that out, see if there's any food people that I might be able to pick up.
Oh, nice.
And then and a day in the garden. So so please introduce your business and tell us what you make and sell.
I'm Laura. My business is Makeadaze, and I sell primarily I use polymer clay, so it's jewellery, accessories, and what I think people call homeware, but I call knickknacks.
Okay.
So going into that field a bit as well.
Excellent. Knickknacks. That's a good word, that, isn't it? So why did you set up your business, and how did you come up with your business name? I'm intrigued with this one.
Well, I set up, like I'm sure there's a lot of people in lockdown. I always wanted to have my own business and do my own thing because I love being creative and doing crafty things, but I never found a time to kind of explore it. So when I got put on furlough, because I worked in retail, I had time suddenly, because it was either that or make a lot of sourdough and banana loaves, basically. And I just bought some polymer clay online and just had a play, really, and started following people that were doing it online. My name, I really took me ages to think of this, and I was battering ideas around with my husband, and in the end, it sort of came from when I was a kid. My dad used to look after us on weekends while my mum was at work, and we do things called Makeadaze. So we'd have things like yogurt pots and lolly sticks and stuff, and just do all little crafty activities. So it was kind of play on words for that, but we had Makeadaze. So the idea is like you're making a statement as well, but it relates to my childhood crafting.
So kind of like amaze days kind of thing as well.
Yeah, exactly. So there was lots of little ways people could interpret it as well, but I liked that was my version of it, but then when some people see it, they get a different thing from it as well.
Sure. And also, isn't it, it's that bit when you're set up your Instagram account and then trying to find something that is easy as well, especially when you at a market and you say who you are, and then they can go back and they can find you. It's nothing worse, isn't it, when somebody underscore or they've got something bizarre
I know.
with it.
And sorry if you hear crashing, by the way, my cat is on peak Zoomy hours at the minute, so she might be battering around in the background. My main thing as well is when I started was we were getting married later in the year, and I didn't want to use my name in it because then I knew once that changed, I'd want to change that and cause confusion. So I was like, I wanted something that was me, but without my name in it, particularly for me anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So whereabouts are you based, and where is your workspace?
I'm based in Farnham in Surrey. I'm literally in the middle of town is my house. It's like the little hobbit house in the middle of the high street somewhere. And my workspace is literally my dining room table. We have a little foldy out table, and I stack things wherever I can, find space for storage wherever, and I'm there most of my days off from my work. So
excellent. So have you, and I know this one's always hard for lots of people, have you a favourite item to create, and why have you chosen that?
Well, my products have gone through a lot of transitions of things I'm doing. I started off with very vintage inspired things and retro style stuff, and now it's kind of moving more into, I think they call it cottagecore, but it's kind of, I call it a bit more whimsy and nature influence. So at the minute, one of my favourite things and most popular are the little mushies. Earrings, but these ones are hand painted. So I make the clay ones and then paint them all by hand with acrylic. So I really enjoy doing that because it's using two different kinds of crafts that I'm interested in doing, and then each one is unique and people love the look of them.
Excellent. Excellent. I know as well, and one thing that's great about your store is when you see it, it's very bright and colourful.
Yeah.
And,
I stand out.
we came down to Brighton, was Crafted. Yeah, and Rob, we've just, I know it's cheesy, but we love gnomes, and we've got our little gnomes in the kitchen now. So yeah, he was, and it's lovely because you just find something that, you know, means something to you, isn't it? You sort of find those people and a little gnome and things like that. And I mean, the mushrooms that you're wearing there, they're absolutely great, aren't they? I love them.
I love well, mushrooms seem to be the thing people have been drawn to most, and then the gnomes are starting to creep up as well, and I just really enjoy making them and giving them all different personalities and things like that.
Sure. And also with yours as well, isn't it? I suppose you've got a bit of your customers. So you've got, you know, and as you know, I keep banging on about, our customers are 5-year-olds to 100, you know, to 95. So you are appealing to those small kids up to the adults that sort of like what you do as well, isn't it?
Definitely. And different areas that I go to for markets, you see the different kinds of people that are really interested. Like when you saw me in Brighton, it was obviously that sort of creative uni student kind of vibe. But then when I do local ones, you get younger people coming, or people that are a bit older and going, oh, I remember when they were popular when I was a kid, and really interested in what I'm doing with them now and stuff like that. So it's really nice talking to different people.
Yeah, exactly. And we sort of say about it, bringing those kind of things back into, you know, modernisation and bringing it up to date, and, you know, explaining as well when you've got the kids, even like yesterday, of, you know, explaining that we make these things, and they, you know, with little hair scarf scrunchies, which the kids, a pound a shot, they love them.
They're great.
But, you know, it's great to then, you know, with kids understanding how you make things and what sort of goes into it.
Yeah, and that's why, like, for me, my medium I've started with and continuously use is polymer clay. And what I love is it's easy for people to go and buy some and try it themselves. And it's one of those things, even small children can use it as well as a grown up. So when you say what it is, people immediately know and understand what it is. So you don't have to go too much into the process, but they're fascinated because they think, oh, when I did it, I just made like a weird grey blob out of it when I was mixing things together. Like, how do you get the colours and how do you get this? So it's a great way to chat to people too.
Definitely. So have you been working on anything new this year at all? You got gnomes and mushrooms, there must be. Is there anything new?
Yeah, well, my main things that I've been doing now are slightly bigger, the knickknacks, as I was calling them. So I've got my little fairy houses, which I use recycled jam jars.
Excellent.
And they're just, they take me obviously a lot longer to do, but I just love concentrating on details and working on different ideas for those. And I've literally just finished, well, I've got to paint them, but these are little photo stands. So I've got a little Nomi a friend doorstep, so people can use them for putting business cards on if they want, on stalls, photos, little reminder cards, positive little messages for your desk. But again, and they're using recycled lids as a base.
Fantastic. You've got comments already. You've got Rock and Crystal, gorgeous, and Fat Cat. Oh God, they are amazing and so cute. So you know, and you know, as the other day with you know, Fat Cat with her, you know, I was going to say origami, sorry, crochet. You know, and it's just, you know, and that's what's great, isn't it? That, you know, already I'm quite excited for our events because people are going to come along, and we've got all these fun things as well, isn't it? That, you know,
mixed bag.
And get people walking out the room, you know, because that's what I do. I'm usually sort of talking to the customers, and I'm there to love these. We must feature these. There we go. Sorry, Cass. I've been talking to those guys as well, which is great. And you know, talking to those guys, if you know, with myself, any kind of businesses that want to be on Surrey Cast and feature, you know, more than happy to, because I want to get the word out about you guys, as you know, as I bang on about small businesses, which is so important. So have you an ethos? You know that we have one. It's to be friendly. I had to read it then. I don't believe I did. friendly, creative, and unique. Is there a kind of ethos that you have at all?
Well, for me, one of my big inspirations in being creative and being artistic is Jim Henson and the work that he has done. And one of his main ethos when he was creating, even when he started out up to like when he was really producing big hits, was that Everything should be fun. You should always
Yeah.
have fun in what you're doing, and that everything should be about learning. So even when something doesn't hit #1 in the chart, say, or doesn't come out
Yeah.
the way you thought about it, you've learned something from it. And that's what I like when I do stuff. Sometimes I'll make things and it doesn't come out how I thought, but I've kind of learned what not to do next time, or to try a
Yeah.
different way of doing it, and getting ideas from all sources. So I think that's kind of my main ethos when I'm as a business, is just to keep having fun with it and keep learning.
Yeah, and you know what? That is so important. Obviously, yesterday we had our first market in Reigate, as I was talking about. So we will sit down, myself and Rob, and we will talk about what went right. The setup we had. I bought myself a little poser table. So what I'm doing is sometimes I'm working on my computer but standing up, so not sitting down, and all of that. So we kind of used that, and we had the t-shirts, and there were things that was that right or whatever. We were obviously in the tunnel with our gazebo, where probably in hindsight would have been better outside, whatever. But that was where we were positioned. But also, what went right, the customers, how we set it up, and different things. Even yesterday, because we've got the wedding, a celebration event, and I was, how are we going to do this? Because I want it to look different. I want it to showcase different things. But I think it's really important to assess and what went wrong, how were the customers interacting, because it is hard. Even yesterday at the beginning, we're like, hi. And there were, I have to admit, there were some right miserable people around in Reigate yesterday. There were, that 10%, hi, and oh God, and they don't stop, and they just walk past, and you're walking through a market here, and
and it's hard when you're so enthusiastic for what you're doing. And I think that's the thing, like you say, whenever I do a market, and I've always said from when I've done my first one, it's not necessarily, if I break even, that's great, but for me it's learning things in terms of that I can't learn from online. So what things draw people's eye the most, what things are people pointing out the most. So they might not necessarily buy them for whatever reason, like they might not been paid yet, or might be just they're not in the mood, but it's knowing what people look at and what they comment on, and if there's certain colors they're drawn to. And I think that's the beauty of an in-person market, is you get feedback straight away.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even with myself yesterday, I walked up and down a couple of times, just sort of like, of what I like about, when you see people interacting and all of that. And it was fun, I have to admit, there was somebody that 3 times went up to their store, and every time I went there, they actually had their back turned to me. And I'm standing there, okay. And then I went again, and then they were chatting. I was like, okay. And it's like, as much as you can, your store can look amazing and whatever, and it was quite weird. I was standing there thinking, oh my God, they're not actually going to turn around. They just finished off with a which is fine, because, they're not part of Curated. They're not, and there are people there yesterday that, do our markets. So I'm sort of checking them out, making sure they're okay. And, they're doing what, because that's what I want. I want, and I was sort of saying to somebody yesterday, I actually have customers who, a couple yesterday, who always come to all of our events. But they, I said to them, give me feedback. Tell me what you like in the room, who you didn't like, and whatever, which is great. Although I am very concerned, because they did say that they were going to strip naked and run past the window because they know where I live. So I'm really scared that they actually
keep an eye on those windows.
they know where I live. In lockdown, we were out there, chatting away. So they keep saying they watch it, and like, we're just going to streak across the window. So if you see me just going, know what's hopefully they won't. But
no, not today.
Bless them. So the question I ask as well, and this question I used because when we started to do, oh God, there's a load of walkers, about 50 of them walking up the road. There we go. Sorry. What are your goals and dreams for this year? And I asked this one because back in the days when we were in COVID times, I think it's relevant still to talk about. We've all got to have dreams still, haven't we? And goals.
Yeah, I mean, for me, a big one for this year was I wanted to do more regular markets in person, because I'd got a few last year. Obviously, when we came out of COVID, every small business was like trying to get a spot at a market. So it was such a struggle to get as a new business a spot in like certain places. So this year I'm really excited. Like in the next 3 weeks, I think I've got a market every weekend, and like that hasn't happened for me yet. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes time wise, but I'm going to do my best. But I'm just excited for doing more in-person markets. I'd like to be selling more regularly online, but I just really like the idea that I'm really trying to hone things like my social media to be really speaking to my customers, because I think when I started, I just want anyone to follow me and anyone to interact. But now I'm finding the people that I can tell like my stuff and interested in how I make them and interested in me and what I'm doing with my business. And I'm really looking forward to getting to know people like that more and getting more out there to see other people as well.
Yeah, so it's really weird to say that, because like the followers on Instagram, and I kind of keep a check on that, and sometimes I have somebody I look at and I'm like, why would I follow them back? You know, they're just, you know, trying to get the numbers, but you know, the numbers there, and the people, you know, even when I do this, for instance, you know, there'll be a couple of people following, and I'm like, yeah, because I want them to know about what we're doing, you know, obviously watching these 10 at 10s, and then, you know, we have the countdown and all of that, and then they know about that event. So it is really interesting. I mean, each time when I'm doing this, loads of different people pop up who don't necessarily know about us, which is amazing, isn't it? And you know, Instagram, it is great for, and having the right followers. You know, my goal, and I think I'm nearly there, is to get 5,000 followers, and I think I need about 48. So I'm kind of like, getting there.
Yeah.
But it is really lovely, because you know, it's the right kind of people now that are starting to follow me, and I'm not following for following's sake. It's like making sure they are right, you know. Sometimes who's this crazy person, you know, and
Exactly.
oh God, and what is going on at the moment, whenever I post something, you get all of those people that, you know, you've got to you know, tag it on something else as well, you know, when it comes up when you do a post, and I find sometimes so I have to block them, and even the ones that I've blocked, you've got to go and block them and all of that. But promote it on this, promote it on that. Yesterday I did it, there were 8 of them. I was like, oh, delete, you know. And it's funny, I think some people think that, you know, seeing that is great. It's not, it's just because it's not real people. The emails I get from people, you've got great social follower, you know, whatever, we'll get you 1,000 more followers. I'm like, no, I want real people.
My one of late is I get a lot of DMs from random companies saying, oh, we think you'd be a great ambassador for this product. And it's like gym wear. And I was like, that is just not me. Or it's like jewelry. And I'm like, but that's what I do. Why would I be ambassador for another company? I mean, I love other people's stuff, but I'd be an ambassador for free if I really like someone's stuff. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't do it. It's very strange. So I just, like you said, block them sort of thing and move them to the junk folder. But it's annoying. It's a full-time job doing that.
Exactly. As soon as I do it, I'm like, oh God, you know, like, delete. And even then, you've got to the ones that I block, there's still ones there that it just goes on and on. But it's quite interesting. But that is, Instagram quite funny for that, isn't it? So who is your support network, would you say?
Well, I've got my husband, who is always supportive of what I do, mostly because he's a creative person as well, so he kind of just gets it straight away, so that's great for me. I have like lots of friends and family that are really supportive. Where I work is an independent business, so they completely get the small business thing and what I'm doing, and they're always asking when I'm doing a new market, or telling me, oh, well, we're doing this event, maybe you should see if they need people for this. So that's great for me, because what I'm doing to earn money during the daytime also helps me do my small business thing. And other small businesses, I'm part of a lot of different networks that have people that just genuinely want to see you do well, and that's just such a nice feeling, like that are encouraging, even if they're like competitors, like, you know, there are other, say, jewelry makers or polymer clay people. They're just really enthusiastic to help other people, and that's when you know you found your right people in the small business world, because they just want to see other people do well. And that's what I do at market. So if I don't have something on my stall that isn't right for a customer, and they're like, oh, well, we're looking for more silver jewelry, say, or this and that, if I know there's a stall two rows down that is going to be right for them, I point them out, because I just think you just want other people to succeed as well.
Yeah, definitely. And that's so true. I mean, even with myself, sometimes I might look at we've got the categories, and there might be somebody, I know they're watching this at the moment, they know they are, but there was somebody, she wanted to do another event in September, but I also had somebody similar. So I messaged them and said, how would you feel about that person? And they went, they're totally different to me. I'm really excited to meet them. And I thought that was really nice. And, you know, I can actually do that where somebody has got something specific and somebody else is very similar. How would you feel about that? And if they turn around and said no, fine, you know, and it's kind of, you know, for me, that makes me feel great that I'm not just, it's just filling the numbers as such, you know, and I think that's what's really important, because, you know, I look at it and we could fill our events and, you know, we could go up to the 67 people that you can fit, like you can in the vintage fair at Dorking Halls, and it's just not very nice. There's too many stallholders in there. You don't walk in the room and go, you know, personally, when I go into that room, I'm overwhelmed because there's too many stallholders in there. Where you come into our events and you're like, and you've got, you know, you've got that space between people as well, and you know,
and that's what I liked about your guys' kind of premise for your events, is that it is actually curated, because I've done events before where you literally turn up and there is like, I'm in a room where there's like 7 other jewelry people and like 3 other polymer clay jewelry, and you think no customer is going to want to look at any of our stuff really, or they'll go to the one who's the cheapest, and that doesn't, you know, that might be that they can afford to do that price, but for me, I want to go to an event where I feel like, you know, the people that have organized have put the work in as well as the people they're selling, and you want to feel like it's a real community space, and that's why I liked what you guys are doing particularly.
Yeah, and like say the other day we were just in the you know, we finally got into these Dorking Halls, because you know, last year of doing the event and using the stage, and you know, we had a lot of people where they were saying, oh, you know, somebody comes in and they haven't bought my items, they've bought their items before. And I think, God, I'm doing so much to kind of shout out that these people are here. And so what we did is we went in there and we finally got it sorted, where the stage is exactly how we want it and how it's going to remain for all of our events now. And because when you're writing it down on paper or a plan, it doesn't work till you get there. And we finally got it. Even the technicians were like, wow, that's a really great idea, that. And I was like, yeah, so that when you come in, you can physically look up on the stage, see who that person is, and it will remain the food and drink people up there. But also, if we've got 12 spaces, and you know, there's only 7 food and drink for the May event, we'll put all the food and drink and then just put people up there as well that are going to stand out and catch your eye as well. But it will still remain, because somebody said as well that it might be as food and drink, that they might be kind of, you know, that might be the last thing they do. They look around and then go, right, I'm going to grab a load of food and off I go, which was kind of like, that's quite a good idea actually, you know, and the sticky cakes and all of that, you know, you know, whatever. So, you know, and that was just talking to, you know, a lady that works in the soap office, in the box office, you know, and it was great. How would you as a customer, you know, even just, you know, she said, I hope you don't mind me. I was like, no, that's what we want, you as a customer and how we see it. So it's just getting that right for everyone when they come into the room, which is really important. So based on that, what events are you doing with Curated by Dapper Suave?
I'm going to be at your May event at Dorking Hall. I'm very, very excited to be going. I've spoken to other small businesses and like, oh, you're going to love it. And like, you know, or once there's a few I know that are going to be there as well. So I'm really excited to try a new venue, a new area, and get to know all the different people that are part of the Curated by Dapper family.
It's great, you know, as I've said, you know, half the people are brand new. It's like, wow, you know, it's really good, you know. So, you know, you're not alone, you know. It's not like when you know, your first day at school and you think, oh, I don't know anyone, you know, you're all in it sort of together. But as you know, as once after this week, once I finish the 10 at 10s this week, then it will be full on about, you know, just promotion, and you'll see it on social media, people that will shout out about it, and really kind of getting the word out there as well. I do need to actually today, I'm going to whiz to Dorking Halls, because we're up on the big screen outside, so I want to do a post on that, because that always looks great. So when you're passing by, and somebody the other day, Simon, who's a photographer, did our photo shoot, he saw it and sent it. He did a post on it. So yeah, that's a really good thing, and working on our brand new posters and things like that. Even thinking now about Gilding's Barn, just bringing that all together, which is almost there, which is really exciting. Even yesterday, there were a load of people that are excited to that Gilding's Barn, food and drink, and talking to people about music. So a real it's what you can get from Dorking Halls, but in a different experience that will please the customers. And so our last question is, why did you choose to work with us?
Well, my main thing was I'd seen your logo and your name pop up quite a few times with other local businesses that I follow. So I'm always looking for new things to do locally. And I just love the idea of what you do. That, like I said, I've done markets before that haven't obviously been curated, haven't been run by people that are traders themselves. So they understand how it works, and the difference is mind blowing. And so I'm just excited to try something where there was a lot more thought put into it, and that I feel like, I know you guys have put a lot of work into what you do, and it shows in how the business comes out to other businesses. And I was just excited to try somewhere new and different, and the fact that you guys do like a one-on-one call before we sign up, so we can really get your vibe as well as our vibe, and just make sure that everyone's happy. And I think that's such a great idea. It's so different.
Thank you. That's been a really lovely thing. Obviously, the inquiry form people fill in, and sometimes it might be they're not quite right and I have to email, or we've got too many of that, and then the phone call, and it's just me going through a few questions. And there have been so many people who said, God, I've never had anyone interested in what I do. And last week, I was on the phone for an hour talking to some of them, an hour and 20 on one of them. And it was great, and just getting to know each other. And it's really, really important, because, what I'm asking of you isn't too much. All I want you to is give great customer service, be unique, creative and friendly. People come to our events, they leave and they go, wow, I've had such a great day. I've chatted to this and this. I found out about this. I didn't really know I liked this, and all of that sort of thing, isn't it? And, even talking to you today, there's things that you learn about what you're making, what goes into it. And also, as we said, there might be people who don't like your stuff. Fine, they can go over their other jewellery and
exactly.
And like and I think that's why, if I was to look at it, and some people I know, when they run their markets, they look at it, this is all what I like, and I think you have to take away the personal thing, and I think my forefront or anything is the customer, and that's that is so important. Like I say, I will be there on the day. There's people I know who support us from day one, and they still do. And just asking them, what do you think? Who did you like? And that's really important, because even sometimes I say to them, what other stuff do you want at this market? So that we talk about sustainability. I'm almost thinking about the clothes swap kind of thing that they do in Crystal Palace. Maybe that might be something we do later. It's just engaging what kind of people want. So that's, it is really important. And also, what's great is you guys actually are so great, because you come back with feedback. And please don't, if you've got anything with anyone doing the May event, tell me now. Don't go afterwards, oh well, whatever, because that is but even the smallest thing, it might be that you've seen an information board somewhere in your local town or something where you can put a poster. Let me know about that, because then we can put it there. It's kind of those little things, because only that one more customer knows, and they come along. It's one more customer who might buy from you, and we're all, it's all ka-ching for all of us, isn't it? Ka-ching.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, so really, I'm going to let you go now, so you can go and enjoy the sunshine, because it's such a lovely day. Have you got any plans for today?
I'm going to treat myself to a coffee, because I've done so well. And then I'm back to the making station for today. But so coffee out, and then grabbing a paintbrush.
Lovely. Fantastic. Like I say, we'll share this onto Instagram, and then we'll put it onto our LinkedIn, Facebook, and our YouTube channel as well. And we will see you in May. Like I say, all the details will be coming out. I think it won't be today, but I think next week we'll get the floor plan ready. That is a job and a half. That is, because you've got to take so much. Somebody the other day, it was so lovely. They actually emailed me and said they wanted to know what the inside of the room looked like, and they wanted to then tailor their products to the room and whatever. And I thought that was such a lovely thing. And I said, wow, that's great. But I said, just wait, we need to look at, you know, who's in the room, the categories. We then look at, you know, you as a person, where you are next to somebody, you know, that's done our events before.
Yeah.
Look at the mix of men and women, and just really look at it and what product you've got and who's next to you and complementing. Yeah, it's a big job, but we, you know, it's quite good. It's like doing the wedding plan. We can't put them next to them and whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good fun. So yeah, I will go now, and I will see you in May. Take care. Lovely to speak to you and see you. All right.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you too. Have a good day. Bye.
And you, bye.